Well, praise God, man. Did you feel the power of God during that moment? Did you feel Him speaking? Did you feel Him moving? Did you feel Him moving in spite of any challenges and circumstances that you find yourselves in? Man, I tell you, I felt the power of God moving during this moment. I felt the presence of God as He opened up the floodgates and allowed us to experience Him in a new way. You all know what time it is, my God. It's that time, you all, where I invite you into another part of the house, and the family comes together for such a time as this. Come on into the family room. Don't worry about the furniture. It's protected. And as Lynn says, grab your beverage, grab something to write with, something to write on, have a seat, and lean in. When y'all see me do that, lean in, that means that I have a pivotal point. And that's a cue for our digital pastors to drop pertinent, relevant points or scriptures into the comment section, because we're about to begin our conversation. And I want you to lean in. That's right. Kim lays it out fine. She lays it out perfectly. She's leaning in and conversation ready. Pen, notepad, chair, and her juice box. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, grab some water, whatever quenches your thirst, because drop this, digital pastors. It's conversation time with the family. Woo! God, I feel your power today. And Lynn, you beat me to the point. Thank you, my big sister. She says, see yourself in God's story, not as a victim, but as a victor. If you see a personal pronoun, put your name there. That lets you know all members listening. They listen. See yourself in this story today. But I want you to see yourself doing something wonderful, and that is advancing, that is moving, because today we're going to discover the 3 keys of gratitude to unlock your best life. Did y'all catch that? So I want you to drop it in the comments section. Who's ready to unlock it, their best life? Drop it in the chat. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Who's ready to unlock it and live their best life? So if you hear something today that pertains to someone you know, don't be afraid to drop their name in the stream and have them to get on, because what we have is for everyone. And I want to know who's ready. Look at that, family. Denise says, I am ready. I love it. Tiffany says she's ready. I love it. Man, y'all going so fast in the chat. Man, I got to switch screens on y'all because I want folk to see what I see. I want folk to see what I see. And if you're ready, look at that. I'm just going to let you see what I see. Everybody who's ready. My God. Cindy says she's ready. Phyllis says she's ready. Linda says that she's ready. Annie says that she's ready. We are ready because I got 3 keys I got to give you. Y'all about to be deacons today. Y'all about to be deacon. Connie says she's ready. Jackie says she's ready. You know, deacons carry a lot of keys. So you all are about to become deputized as deacons today. And we thank God in the name of Jesus. Here's something that you might not know about me, you all. I have a group of brothers, a group of fraternity brothers. And I purposely spend time with them because they're not believers. They don't have a relationship with God through Jesus. Some of them are agnostic, and they don't know if there is a God or not. Some of them are atheists. But I spend time with them. And here's something that might blow your mind. When I'm spending time with them, I usually run my message across them. I run the title. I run the talking points. And you may be asking, why do you run your title? Why do you run your talking points amongst people who are not sure if there is a God or not? And people who believe that there is no God, because they are the people I'm trying to reach. And I want to know if something that we're saying connects, something that we're saying is relevant. So I ran this message by them this past week just to get feedback on the title, feedback on the main points, the talking points. And so I'm having this conversation, and one of them began to tell me about one of his family members, a brother. Let's just call him Jim. And he goes on to tell the story. It's Thanksgiving 2021. He says, bro, my family was gathered around the table. The turkey, was tender. The ham and the dressing was flavorable. The sweet potato pie and the pound cake was exquisite. Everything was beautiful. But then there's Jim. And all Jim did was complain. He complained about the food, complained about where he sat at the table, complained about the weather. And he goes on to tell me, you all, he says, if complaining were an Olympic sport, then my brother Jim would be favored to win the gold medal every single time. Just complain. So the rest of the family is trying to ignore Jim, but his negativity was loud and ruining the time. And every time he turned around, he would find something else to complain about. And finally, his sister, let's just call her Sarah, had enough. She stood up and she tells Jim, we're grateful for what we have. Why can't you be thankful today? Can you put complaining on the shelf and join in the rest of us and be grateful, be thankful for this day? And so Jim just grumbles, went back to picking at his food, but his sister Sarah's words, they stuck with him. So over the next few days, man, he starts to notice the little things to be thankful for: his friends, his family, his health, and and even his dog, that something had happened, something had shifted in Jim's mind. And you know what happened? The frat brother tells me, he says, Jim's attitude began to change. And he says they got together again for Memorial Day, and they noticed the difference. They got together for the 4th of July. They noticed the difference. Had done a complete 360. And the person who was favored to win the gold and complaining at the Olympics, mindset shifted. All because he stopped focusing on the things that were not going right and began to be more grateful, more thankful. And so I learned a valuable lesson, and I asked my bro, man, can I use your story? Man, by all means. The main thing that I pick up from this, digital pastors, I want you to drop this in the chat. Gratitude isn't just a one-time feeling or action. It's a way of life. To be thankful and to be gracious, it's not a one-time feeling or one-time action. It is actually a way of life. Being thankful, not something we do just at Thanksgiving or during Thanksgiving. Rather, it's a way of life that can profoundly impact our level of living, our happiness, and our well-being. I'm teaching this thing better than y'all responding. See, gratitude helps us to have a positive outlook on life, whether we're having a hard time. But even in the midst of the hardness, you're going to discover that we are compelled to be thankful for the things that God has done. And that's why you all in James chapter 1, verse 13, it says, when we are tempted, no one should say, God is tempting me, for God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone. Verse 14, James 1. But each person is tempted when they are dragged away by their own evil desires and enticed. Verse 15. Then after desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin, and sin, when it's full grown, gives birth to death. In verse 16, this is where it gets good. This is where I want to land. Don't be deceived, my brothers and sisters. Verse 17, here it is. This is where I'm going to drop anchor. Verse 17, every good and perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of the heavenly lights, who does not change like shifting shadows. My God. In this context, it appears James is speaking a strange theology that God would bring about temptation for the believer. James states that someone should not say, I'm being tempted by God. Verse 13. Temptation and evil do not come from God. Rather, all good things in this world, they come from God. Now, I want you to catch this. The larger issue, come on, lean in. The larger issues extend to our whole lives. What James is trying to get us to see, Jackie, is that God is the giver of every good and perfect gift. And God's gifts are marked by kindness, helpfulness, and not destructiveness. He's trying to teach us how to shift our minds. That what we think might be something bad, what we think might be something that's a setback, what we think might be something designed to trip us up. He says that if God gave the gift, not temptation, that it's good, that it's perfect, and on top of being good and on top of being perfect, it's marked by, digital pastors drop this, it's marked by kindness, helpfulness, and not destructiveness. Wait a minute. So when I look back over my life, you trying to tell me that even in the not so good, yes. What James is trying to say is that nothing but good comes from God. Somebody got to praise him right there. Nothing but good comes from God. And perhaps we need to adjust our prescription. I'm noticing in my eyeglasses, they're not working like they used to. Things is getting a little fuzzier. And the glasses are working perfectly for the eyes that they were designed for previously, but something about me changed. It's called aging. So now I have to adjust my prescription in order to see clearly. Now, Scripture has a few key words, check this out, that describe being thankful or having gratitude. Now, the Hebrew word used to describe thanks means to give thanks and praise towards. And when we understand what God is saying, look at this. If there's anything in our lives that is positive and that is good, you can rest assured that it came from God. Came from God. Now. Anything that we can rejoice in is from God. Gifts, provisions, talents, friendships, relationships come from God. And being thankful helps us to see that God is the center for everything good in our lives. Are y'all hearing me today? So with that stated, I want to at least give you one key, man. Y'all didn't tap me and let me know my time was up. Let me help you out. If you're taking notes, I want you to go ahead and jot this down. Remember that everything, this is what James is teaching us, Margaret, everything that happens for a reason, be patient and trust in God's plan. Everything that happens for a reason, be patient, and we trust in God's plan. There are many things in life that will happen that we don't understand. We question why. And we often wonder if there's a greater purpose. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. I'm here today to tell you that everything, even though it might seem bad, remember, if it came from God, it's good. Oh, teach Clarence. Because everything that happens for a reason is part of God's plan. And if it's to tempt you to act outside of the will of God, that ain't from God. But God will test you. Test you to see if you really want it. Test you to see if you can really handle it. Test you to see will you give him glory for it. Test you to see can you handle with great integrity the blessings that fall on your life. Everything happens for a reason because it's part of God's God's plans. Maybe you lost a job or a loved one passed away. And you can feel as if you are powerless to change your circumstances. But it's important to remember there is a reason for the good and the bad that happens in the midst of our lives. I don't understand it, but I thank God, and I'm going to trust in His plan and be grateful. I'm going to thank Him for the test, because had it not been for the test, I would not have a testimony. Woo! It's part of the plan. It's part of God's plan. And because it's part of God's plan, you all, everything happens for a reason. Look at this. And that reason always leads us closer to God's ultimate purpose for us. Junior, you teaching this thing today better than your people are responding. So I'm going to go ahead and land the plane right here. We'll pick the rest up at the gathering. We'll pick the rest up at the gathering. Not only are we compelled, here's key number one, to remember that everything happens for a reason. So we be patient and we trust in God's plan. I'm going to conclude right here. Be grateful for your health, your home, your family, and your friends. God, Junior, you're really teaching this better than your people are responding. No matter what might be going on in your life, there's always something to be thankful for. It's easy to forget all the good things, Lyndon, when things are tough. But remembering the blessings, it's important to stay positive and hopeful. So we assume, here's what I'm learning, we assume that our health will never change. Our family and friends will always be there with us, or our home will always be a sanctuary, baby. But you go through seasons where you have health challenges. We go through seasons where family and friends, people who were once so familiar, Cindy, they become strangers overnight. Go through seasons where everything in the home was great, everything in the home was perfect. But all of a sudden, it's like a volcano meets a tornado, and there's turmoil tearing up your home. So you just gotta pause when there's a sea of calm. Lord, I thank you that I got a good, reasonable portion of my health and my strength. Lord, I thank you that my family and friends are intact. I thank you that my home is peaceful, because you never know. Nothing in life is guaranteed. Nothing in life is promised. That's why it's important, Robert, to take a step back in each day and appreciate the things that we do have. It's reminding us that we have something to be grateful for. Your health, your home, your family, your friends. These are the things that live on forever. You stayed to the end. I got one more thing to say, and I'm going to say that at the gathering. But I'm going to give you what I promised, because I want to help you out. I want to help you to remember that everything that happens, it happens for a reason, to be patient and to trust in God's plan. Then I'm going to help you remember to be grateful for your health, your home, your family, and your friends. I prayed about this, And in the midst of praying about it, God began to speak to me. So I got a gift for you. Think of this as early Christmas. Because your pastor loves you so much and he wants you to get this. I prepared something for you. And you don't even have to wait to Christmas, Angela, to get it today. Erica, you can get it right now today. Can I show y'all how to get it? Here's what I prepared for each and every one of you today. I prepared this resource. It's called My Gratitude Journal. God, I love your word. I'm going to help you to put it in action. My Gratitude Journal. And this journal goes on to speak a little bit about what is a gratitude journal. Then I go into detail and explain what a gratitude journal is all about. And then I give you a few steps on how to use this journal. And then I give you enough to start the week off right. You get 7 pages to put into action what we talked about with the gratitude journal. And if y'all are receptive enough, then I'll go ahead on and make one completely for you. And then this journal, you can begin today, or if you want to start fresh tomorrow, you can start fresh tomorrow. So I just need to know in the comment section. I need to know in the comment section who would like it today. You stuck around and you listened to me talk about this for 20 plus minutes. If you want today's journal and you want to get started on your gratitude journey, rediscovering the lost art of gratitude, let me know in the comment section. Tell me this. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want to see if there's an interest there. I want it. I want it. Let me see. I want it. All right, Linda, I see it. I want it. I want it. Tim, I like one, sir. Yeah, I want it. I want it. Dr. Brown says, I want it. I want it. Ann says, I want it. That's enough right there. Y'all are convincing me that you want it. Erica says, I want it. Betty, I want it. All right. Katie, I want it. Big Rhea, I want it. Linda, I want it. Phyllis, I want it. Anna, I want it. Lyndon, I want it. That is, I can't even keep up. All right. So here's what we're going to do. I want to show you how to get it. Look at that. I want it. I want it. I want it. And you don't even have to pay for anything. This is how you get it. You ready? This is all you got to do to get it. You text the word insider, because that's what you are to me. You getting stuff that regular folks ain't getting because they didn't get on the stream. So I want you to text insider when the stream ends, because you still got to give your offering. I want you to text insider to 33777. And you'll get a couple of texts asking for your email address and then asking for your name, because I want to personalize it and send it to you. And then after you do that, then immediately you'll receive a text message or an email to download your gratitude journal. That's how much your pastor loves you, because I want to see you get this. So you text insider, the word insider, to 33777, all right? To get your gratitude journal today. Text insider to 33777.